Hello Internet, Jojo here, and today I'm reacting to Deathbattles, Harley Quinn vs Jinx, Batman vs League of Legends. Now, right off the bat, from right now, I haven't started watching it yet, I would bet for Jinx, and my reasonings would be her arsenal is absolutely insane. But that's right now. Let's watch this and see if my opinion changes. Let's go.
Harley Quinn, DC's fantabulous.
Really? Isn't that the Fortnite model? Like, why'd they use the Fortnite version? That just seems silly, to be honest.
Anti-hero.
Jinx, the loose cannon of League of Legends.
We live in a society that adheres to strict laws and norms, but these two ladies turn that system on its head with their wild enthusiasm for destruction and chaos.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So just looking at the animation in the background there, it already looks fantastic. I'm a big fan of the style that League of Legends has been in. I've never played League of Legends, but I've always been a fan of the style. But I'm looking forward to animation. That looks pretty cool.
Born to a middle-class family in the heart of Brooklyn, USA, Harley Quinn had long lived a life of mediocrity. She had embarrassing parents, annoying siblings,
And a high school life that sucked. Even more than, the normal ones.
She never
Every high school student thinks that. Everyone of them thinks that it sucks more than usual.
quite felt like she fit in anywhere. But despite this, Harley knew she was destined for greatness.
So,
Wow, this is just a high school student's fantasy.
inspired by a childhood crush turned psychotic murderer, Harley
That's not typical.
spent years training to be a world-renowned criminal psychiatrist, eventually traveling to Gotham City's infamous Arkham Asylum to research the most dangerous criminals on the planet, like Batman's arch-nemesis, the Joker.
But after analyzing the Joker and his horrific, unspeakable history as a homicidal clown, and Jared Leto, she came to realize one truth.
The Joker was actually a misunderstood angel squashed down by an unjust society and wrongfully harassed by that son of a bitch Batman.
This was the first of the Joker's many manipulations, leading Harleen to see a warped reflection of herself through him, culminating in her breaking him out of prison, bleaching her skin via chemical vat baptism, and joining him on his life of crime, descending into love like madness and reborn as the fantastic Harley Quinn.
And she was packing plenty of tools of maniacal mayhem, including her iconic hammer, electric buzzers, and bombs of all shapes and sizes, like the dreaded banana cream pie, the most evil of all pie flavors.
When she wants to get around quickly, she can use her handy-dandy pogo stick, which she
That seems inefficient even with rockets.
straps rockets to. That doesn't seem safe.
Speaking of unsafe, Harley's most versatile tool is her pop gun. A
Why are you
rotating
here?
revolver with special ammo rounds, like a boxing glove. Whoa!
Whoa, close one.
And binding confetti. Whee! And did I mention explosive rounds? Which? Oh no!
Ah, my leg is gone. Oh no. Oh wait, there he was. I'm fine.
I'm gonna go.
Props,
Harley
Deathbattle.
combines her arsenal with unparalleled gymnastic skills, making her far deadlier than your average criminal. She can even keep up with experts like Deadshot and Catwoman, even Batman at times.
At
the
times.
peak human superhero that can dodge lightning and survive this alien device exploding, which obliterated multiple city blocks.
Okay, so I wasn't aware Batman had ever dodged lightning. So now that they bring that up, I think that my opinion has changed a bit. Because while Jinx might have the arsenal advantage, just a massive range of weapons that are probably more deadly than anything Harley has, I'm not sure Jinx has the speed. So that might be the deciding factor. But if Jinx can keep up with Harley's scaling to Batman, who dodged lightning, then it's going to go in her favor. Because I do think that she has far more deadly arsenals.
Yeah, I think that stretches the term peak human just a bit. But hey, he's the goddamn
Classic
Batman,
Batman.
so we'll allow it.
Unfortunately for Harley, despite her unwavering loyalty to the Joker, their honeymoon period did not last. He spent years abusing her, physically and emotionally, tearing her down piece by piece.
Then, when he got bored, he strapped her to a friggin' rocket and launched her halfway across Gotham City. Guess that's one way to say, no, it's not you, it's
Wait.
me. Bye!
Did she... I'm assuming she survived that. That's quite the feat.
Harley was left alone in the wreckage,
Yeah, she
abandoned
survived
by
that.
the one person
Quite
she
impressed she
dedicated
survived
her
that.
entire life to.
Until fellow villain Poison Ivy came by. She nursed Harley back to health, literally healing her from a damaged relationship. Ivy even gave Harley a chemical concoction that granted her superhuman strength and a healing factor.
I suppose a healthy relationship can sometimes feel like your own superpower in and of itself.
Yeah, and those two definitely seem like very good friends. Wink!
With Ivy at her
And why was that even relevant? You know, Deathbattle has a habit of putting the most ridiculous stuff that doesn't matter in their episodes. Remember when Wiz called Zuko
had a heated redemption
Daddy?
arc. And now that he's the Fire Daddy, Fire Lord,
and then
metaphor for puberty. Senket's pulling out Ryuko's blood is symbolic of menstruation.
it's just really creepy stuff that's what sometimes put in here. And I don't know why they do it. I don't know whether they're just trying to be trendy or whether they're just trying to make a point of some sort, but it's just creepy sometimes.
Side, Harley went on to rebuild herself as a famous anti-hero, leading teams like the Gotham Sirens and Suicide Squad. She worked on developing new skills built around her own strengths rather than that of her past.
Like learning to use her lifelong knowledge of psychoanalysis to manipulate her foes mid-combat.
And creating tons of her own chemical concoctions, like tranquilizers and sleeping gases that can incapacitate metahumans. She even reversed
That could be useful in a fight. Because as far as I'm aware, Jinx is just a normal person. She's not a super metahuman, so that could be useful.
engineered her former flame's trademark Joker Venom. This deadly substance excites the laughter centers in a person's brain and forces them
That's a
to
good
laugh
movie.
until they suffocate.
Harley was clearly
Dark Knight
on
Returns
top
is
of
a
the
great
world,
movie.
but nothing caps off self-improvement like a Rocky Balboa training montage. So Harley went to Themyscira of all places to get a combat internship with the Amazons, just
Really?
like her favoriteest superhero, Wonder Woman. And imagine going from bashing random goons in Gotham to fighting alongside immortal warrior goddesses.
She became agile enough to jump
Okay, I didn't know that she did that. I guess she has done quite a bit outside of her time with Joker.
between skyscrapers and strong enough to rip an entire palm tree out of the ground with her bare hands. Based on the size of the tree and the weight of an average palm by foot, that weighs about 600
Can you take a moment to appreciate the art of this picture? That's good art. Great art. But, I watched the trailer for Jinx. This tree ain't got nothing on her. Remember, she tanked hits from the guy who shook a mountain. That's pretty much a lot more than 600 pounds. So, not looking good. Unless
pounds,
speed can make
and
up
she
for
can
it.
hold it one-handed, so her actual strength is probably at least twice as much.
Enough to lift a full-grown brown bear and throw it like a rag doll.
That seems
Hell,
very
her
specific.
skills advanced so far, she was appointed a herald on the War World Apocalypse. You know, the planet ruled by the living embodiment of evil? Even the actual personification of the DC editorial staff likes to call her in to help with tough jams.
As the years went on, Harley surprised literally everyone by transitioning from supervillain to superhero. She partnered up with other heroes, became a psychiatrist again, and legitimately started helping other vigilantes with trauma, like Jason Todd, who definitely needed that.
I like Harley better when she was a villain. Harley's more interesting as a villain, in my opinion, because she does have that dynamic of going back and forth. When she's just pure hero, it's kind of
In
boring.
fact, the Bat family she used to antagonize and ridicule eventually accepted her as kind of an extended member of their group, teaming up with her to save Gotham from her toxic ex. Good for her. Guess we're not going to talk about when she went back to the Joker a couple times, huh?
In
There we
the
go.
end,
Okay. Because that's part of Harley Quinn's charm, her constant edge between good and evil. And the fact that she's not all there, even as a hero, her brain is not there. There's no way to fix it. And that's a lot of what people see in her, I think. That's why I like her. Because you never know what she's going to do, but you know it's going to be something crazy. Characters who are always heroes or always villains, you know what to expect from them. They are predictable. They're going to do the bad thing. But her, you don't know. She could do the bad thing one time and the good thing the next.
She may be a little nutty, but you'd be mad not to love Harley Quinn. The world of Runeterra is a wondrous fantasy land of advanced technology, arcane magics, and legendary champions. But on its northern shores are two cities locked in political turmoil. For decades, Piltover's rich elite have exploited the Undercity of Zaun, forcing workers into unsafe conditions and brutalizing the populace with terrifying police enforcers.
Oh, so like New Jersey. You could have just said New Jersey.
Until one day, a wild, loose cannon would literally explode onto the scene.
Okay. Jinx analysis focus on old/new lore, arcane, and various promotional trailers that are depicted the cast in their sounding forms. Alternate versions like the Star Guardians will be included. Now, I think what I posted to the community might have been from Star Guardians, so that might be excluded. I'm not sure because I'm not very well versed on League of Legends lore, but it's important to mention that this is what they are using and what they are not using.
She gave those uptight topsiders a taste of their own medicine, menacing its people with bombs, gunfire, and even more bombs. This was Jinx.
Jinx destroyed Zeppelins, Jumanji'd the shit out of the local zoo, and switched the street signs. What a monster! Now those monkeys will never find their way back.
Only the enforcer, Violet, could hope to stop her. But even armed with massive gauntlets weighing over 4,000 pounds each, Vi could not definitively overcome Jinx's magnificent arsenal of mechanical monstrosities.
Man,
Which, for the record, those gauntlets are heavier than Harley's palm tree.
they're so evenly matched. It's almost like they're related. Anyway, Jinx gets
I think that was an unnecessary spoiler. Or an entire wasted couple seconds as well.
burst open birds with her trusty Zapper Shock pistol, turn enemies to Swiss cheese with her Pow Pow minigun, and blow bad guys to bits with her Flame Chomper grenades.
But Jinx's favorite weapon is her Fishbones rocket launcher. So much so, she rides it like a rocket-powered pogo stick.
Aha,
Well,
connection!
That seems even less safe.
Well, don't let her manic attitude fool you. Not only is Jinx tough enough to take a hit from Braum, a guy who can shake mountains with a punch,
There you go. Well, subject to mythologization, Braum's feats are based on truth and shown firsthand in the Feats of Braum trailer. He can also fight Viego, who caused an earthquake across the Shadow Isles, backing up this power level. So that's significantly higher than anything that Harley had. But that's only durability. Jinx has a significant advantage.
but she's wicked smart. Almost all her gear is custom made. She's even recreated Hex Tech, funky science powered by magic crystals. Ooh.
Including her handheld teleportation device. Oh, my bad.
That could play into it, because even if Harley does throw a grenade or a gas thing, Jinx could probably teleport away. So that could also play in Jinx's favor.
Is that League of Legends? What a coincidence.
Oh no.
Hold the phone. Are you talking about League of Legends over there? I love that game.
Well, that's
I got
fast.
more than 10,000 hours just in our college days, huh, buddy?
10,000 hours? That's a
League
lot.
of Legends is a multi.
As items and runes are recurring elements in, they will be included. So any items that from the games will be included. I have no idea what those could be.
Player
but
online battle arena game forged in the flames of LAN parties and salty gamer tears. Oh. And as any professional will tell you, to play the game well, you need to min-max your character's loadout with the best possible items.
Yeah, and the worst mistake you can make is being new.
okay. So she does have a way to increase speed and strength. And I would assume that it's on top of what she did before, tanking the hit from Braum. Okay, so well, that won't come into play. Increases speed after kills. That probably won't come into play unless we're talking about Harley's hyenas.
God, it's the midterms all over again. No, Boomstick, stay in your lane. What are you doing in the jungle? Stop it, feeder.
Jinx's ideal loadouts include Phantom Dancer, so she can phase through objects after landing a blow.
I'd like to
That's significant. That's really, really powerful. In one-on-one especially.
phase out of this conversation.
Then there's the Quicksilver Sash, which protects her from status effects like sleep, paralysis, and poison.
Which would probably also include Joker Venom. Well, I'm not sure there's a limit on this.
This includes forced actions, which make you do things you don't want to do.
So, manipulation, hypnotism, basically everything Harley had.
Hey, Boom! You want to pop into a match with your old Teemo from back in the day? I can set it up right now.
How about we move on to Arcane before I ram my foot up your ass?
Aww.
So, there's more to Jinx than what the main games depict. Before her infamous tomfoolery, most people around Zaun knew her as an innocent young tinkerer named Powder.
Like pretty much everyone in the Undercity.
What a stupid name. I'm sorry, that's a stupid name.
Powder had it rough. She lost her parents in a conflict with enforcers, but had a bit of luck when she joined this cool foster family along with Vi, who was, gasp, her sister all along. If you're wondering what put soap in their opera, Vi was a total badass, and Powder was desperate to also prove herself to her newfound family. And then she made a mistake.
Seemingly abandoned, Powder was left in the hands of the most notorious drug kingpin around. Silco was not the father she needed, but the one she wanted, teaching her to turn her perceived weaknesses into her greatest strengths. Thus, she became Jinx.
Even when the sisters reunited years later, they couldn't fully reconcile, setting up the game of cat and mouse in the game.
Jinx was an excellent rival, able to keep up with other skilled warriors like the bullet-dodging Echo, and survive the worst.
Okay, that's gonna be significant. Just because of how that was animated and how the bullet speed versus the character speed. I don't think it'll rival lightning dodging, but I think it'll play significantly.
Zaun's toxic environment.
Also, just naturally, she has a very strong weakness to toxics.
Which can kill normal people in minutes. After a near-fatal explosion, she was also infused with Shimmer, a toxic strength and speed-enhancing drug that permanently altered her body's biochemistry.
But Shimmer's side effects intensified her prior trauma, making her much more unhinged and prone to attacking with lethal intent.
Inspiring her ultimate weapon, the Super Mega Death Rocket! This baby's been powered by both Hextech and its even more volatile cousin, Chemtech.
That's even more explosive! I forgot how much I appreciated the explodey options. Anyway, both Hextech and Chemtech are comparable in power to natural magic.
On par with what a badass mage like Lux is able to cast, such as Lucent Singularity, which can totally body these big ol' rocks.
Measuring their width with Lux's height, we can determine she destroyed almost 13,000 tons of rock from 30 meters away.
Promotional trailers show Mega Death Rocket matching the speed and power of Lux's Final Spark, a much more powerful attack that fires a Kamehameha of natural light.
So her rocket is not only super strong, but super fast. From powder to gunpowder, Silco couldn't be prouder.
But her violet streak grew grim until the day she met a particularly explosive Yordle. Ziggs
This is Yorkie.
bonded with her over their mutual passion for destruction, but his was more tempered, controlled. Thanks to his wisdom, Jinx learned a little bit of restraint when it came to exploding things of a more fleshy nature.
Helping her tone down the wanton violence and recover some of her mental stability, like he's some kind of feline brand Jiminy Cricket.
And despite being on opposite sides of the bridge, Jinx and Vi remained sisters, ultimately still caring about each other in their own way, even if they were at odds more often than not.
Though you better believe that when things get boring and uptight, Jinx will be there to shake things up.
So, I'm leaning toward Jinx. I think she has a lot of counters to the stuff that could put her down that Harley has. Speed-wise, I think that Harley's going to be faster, probably more skilled as well. But I think the raw power from the mountain pushing and the one bomb they calculated is going to be a bit too much for Harley to handle. Also, I think her arsenal is much more varied. So, that's my prediction. I think Jinx, just based on what they've shown.
Deathbattle.
If Harley does win, it'll be because of her speed and skill. Because Jinx can counter everything else she has. And I'm not sure if she can hurt Harley. And I'm not sure if Harley can hurt Jinx at all with anything she has.
It's time for a death battle!
Ooh, I love the setting. I love the setting already. That's really cool.
And they say these games are rigged. What? Screw you, you emo pigeons! I'll show you a murder!
I don't know why I find that funny, but that does tickle my funny bone.
Love exploding stuff. Huh, I like exploding stuff too. Why don't I start with your head?
Good music.
Stay still! I'm trying to shoot you!
Mega teleportation being used.
She's right behind you.
Aw, thanks, pal. Traitor! You're a real firecracker. Got a light? Oh, sure thing.
I think they're kind of out of place in my opinion. That's good. That's good. Lightning. Is that lightning? I'm assuming it's lightning.
Oh, nuts. Neat gizmo. Got any games? No! My save file! You made me run! Well, that's unfortunate.
This fight fits very well. I really like this. How this fight.
Sorry, Soldier 2, Dad. To make up for it, I got you some nice perfume.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Ugh, smells like. Take that back. I'm crazy. Doctor, no I am a doctor, and you ain't crazy. You don't have that same smile.
There we go.
I don't need a second opinion.
Oh! Oh! Oh, I know what's happening next. I know what's next.
Wait,
Oh.
don't you want to get in close and savor my emotions as you deliver the final kill?
No.
Nah, bye.
I love that callback to the Joker versus Sweet Tooth. That's what Joker used when he fight with Sweet Tooth to win. Oh, that is brutal. Absolutely
Don't
brutal.
just stand there, Jinx. You just want a free teddy bear. What if it's Timbers?
This was a complicated fight with far more factors to consider than at first blush. Harley had more direct combat experience against
Skill.
superpowered beings, along with better training.
But Jinx's physical power, diabolical weaponry, and assortment of items were just enough to roast this Harlequin duck.
While Harley lifting over 1,200 pounds is impressive, Jinx can compete with Vi, whose gauntlets weigh 8 times that in the game.
And Jinx can take hits from a guy who can shake mountains. A bit beyond Harley's level of strength.
Harley may have been more naturally acrobatic, but Jinx's
Some DC street level heroes like Black Canary or Alan Strange have potential light dodging feats. However, lead characters like Darius or Ziggs, I know this character, just sounds like a weird name, has often moved in tandem with or dodge light beam, making Harley / Jinx similar levels of levity. Levity? Is that even a thing? But that's what I was concerned about, the speed difference.
Hextech and intangibility match and outclass that mobility. The teleporting tablet alone could control the entire fight, since Jinx could send herself or Harley just about anywhere.
And while Harley had a moderate healing factor, she's never regenerated entire body parts before. So
Jinx's official loadout also consists of the Mortal Reminder and Bloodthirster, items which can dampen Harley's regeneration effects, which leech Harley's health respectively. So Harley's regeneration would actually benefit Jinx more than it would Harley, because she would get the benefit of having Harley's health and the ability that it can't really run out. But it would negate Harley's ability because all of Harley's regeneration would be sent to Jinx.
big enough kaboom would definitely kill her. And Jinx's weapons were strong enough to do just that. In order to destroy over 13,000 tons of rock from such a distance, Lux's magic explosion would need a yield of about 20 kilotons of TNT.
And Jinx's Hextech and Chemtech are similar to Lux's magic in speed and power.
Even if we scale Harley's durability to Batman surviving this massive explosion, the potency of Jinx's weaponry outpaces it more than 300 times.
Yeah.
Sure, Harley is legitimately intelligent, but so is Jinx, as evidenced by her inventions and routinely outwitting Vi and her task force. Plus, Jinx is typically distrusting of people she's just met, so Harley's potential mind games were likely to fall on skeptical ears.
Jinx was much more likely to shoot first and ask questions later.
Now, Harley still had her wide array of poisons and chemical agents, like the Joker Venom, which would kill most opponents in minutes. However, after living her whole life in the toxic cesspool of Zaun, her tolerance for poisons is clearly much higher than a normal person. Not to mention, the Quicksilver Sash could simply end any unwanted effect on her.
I said that.
Ultimately, Harley couldn't stand up to Jinx's physical power, superior technology, or overwhelmingly explosive arsenal.
Harley clowned around only to get her bell rung by someone out of her league.
The winner is Jinx.
Okay, so basically, the things I found and posted in the community tab must have been from Star Guardians, which they excluded. Because if they had included that, then it would be much more one-sided. Let's see what's next. Oh. Ooh. I don't really care, to be honest. It's another Marvel vs. I was pretty sure that last season there was a tweet or something that said that the Deathbattle researchers and Bid and Chad heard the communities complaining about so many DC characters. I mean, but then we have 2 DC characters back to back. That seems a bit in poor taste, if you ask me. At least spread it out with, say, some other video game characters. McCole versus Alex Mercer is a very, very common matchup, but they didn't do that. Instead, they stuck 2 DC characters fighting back to back. And all in all, I was right, and most of my reasoning was correct, like always. Wasn't really far past my expectations. The music was okay, but past the first 15 seconds of the song playing, I kind of tuned it out. There were a few good moments in there. I was really glad about that moment where Harley Quinn tried to manipulate Jinx into getting closer to Zapper, because that's what the Joker did with Sweet Tooth in their fight much longer ago. Much longer ago. A while back. Basically everything I predicted came true. I'm a genius yet again. My mind is awesome. Thank you for watching. Remember to stay spectacular, because you're awesome too. Jojo, out.